All right, so today we're doing brake job on brakes and rotors on 17 Q60S. All right, so off rip, this does not have the base model two-piece calipers. It's all one big piece. We're only gonna be doing, I already did the back left. I had my mechanic do the front too. It was very hot yesterday, so I just did the one on that side, back right of me. Did that one. And like, this is mad cake, so run through it really quick. All right, so what I'm using, not gonna lie, these some eBay brake pads, some eBay rotors. There was like 300 for 4 brakes and rotors. Couldn't resist. All right, so the only tools required: lug wrench, 21. It's a size 21 socket, or if you don't have size 21, I just use these 7/8. I use this to just break it loose, and then this to get it off all the way instead of sitting there tightening by hand. Phillips screwdriver, not really needed, but it's very helpful. Flathead, again, not really needed, but it's helpful. And the bolts on the calipers are 19. See, we got the Hart Walmart special. I suggest a big sock for breaking them loose. Power tools always make it easier, but as you see, nobody has power tools at home. All right, so for jacking up the car, it's gonna be a little bit hard to see. Gotta get low. Mostly all cars have a thin rail here. This is the factory jacking point. When you have a scissor jack, it'll go on both sides of these and lift the car up, but we don't have that. You can go ahead and put this on here, but it will squish it. Like, it'll bend it flat. It'll still lift the car up, but it'll bend it flat. So what I do is I go right behind it. There's also a structural point right here. See, I gotta even up with the camera. Right behind there. This jack from the year 2000. Yep. Just go right behind it, because that's also strong enough to lift the car. And this is the front. This is an example of when you use those type of jacks on this. This, when you go to tire shops, they don't look, they just slap it under there. It'll take it and bend it flat. You can still jack it up from there, but I don't want my car looking like that. So when taking or breaking the wheels loose off your wheels, this is just my personal, it's the way I like to do it. I jack it up a little bit, just enough where the wheel is still on the floor, so it grips up, and you, oh, something's hopping. So it grips up, and you could still be able to take off the lug nuts. Because if you do it while it's on the floor, you're putting all the pressure, like you loosen these, you're putting all the pressure on the threads from the weight of the car on those, and you can mess up the back of the threads. Obviously, you go too high, and the wheel will be off the floor and it just spins left and right. So I like to do this, take a lot of weight off the threads itself, break them loose, and then finish taking the wheel off. Another good test to do, as you see, you know, this jack's old. I'm used to this. There's cracks in the floor. Wouldn't suggest it, but see, this wheel's completely off the floor, but I know it's still solid. Got the wheel barely off the ground. That's all you need, just enough to take it off. It wiggles back and forth. Lean against the car. Put all the weight on it, make it shake back and forth so you know it's not gonna fall on you. Even though that is on 3 wheels, this isn't going anywhere. So speed this up. Definitely not the suggested tool, but it's better by hand, better than using your hand. All right. Oh man, that's just stuck on there? That is just stuck on there. No, there's nothing else tightened. Good example of why you do the shake test. Just had to do that. So always have a second source, because this jack, I know for a fact, does leak. And there's jacks that just instantly fail. Like the pressure the seal right there can break and the car will just drop immediately. So what I do, see what I do this in one hand. Flip it on his back so you don't mess up the face. Can't see the back of the tire. All right. Slide it up on under there. Now this, no bueno. Because this car falls, it's like all this is just cosmetic. Make sure you go under the suspension and all the parts and everything, so when it drops, it's landing on something solid that will support the weight of the car. Here's where the Phillips comes into play. 2 pins, one here and one here. You would push in like that, but first, what I use the flathead for, the focus up, safety pins right there. Really dirty. I get the edge of the flathead in there and just boop. Where's the other one? And this is why the Phillips is also useful. So you can't see the safety pin, because these rods right here from factory, they put a Phillips head on the back so you could spin them around. They don't screw up, they don't have any threads, but you're able to spin them around so you can get to the safety pin like that. Oh, using the camera to see here. Boom. Take this. The rear is way easier to push out than the front. I did the fronts yesterday. Like this is like cake, like boom. This brake kit didn't come with, oh, see that flew out. This brake kit didn't come with any like new hardware like pins, but I've had one before that did. It was only $300. What can you really expect? Pads, all grimy and stuck. Try not to, like when you're pressing to get, or using something to press it out, don't press against this, because this will like, you will mess up the paint. So, I mean, I don't mind messing with my paint that much, but I'm not gonna mess it up here. Try not to. I'll just go from the back. Mine are grimy and old, so they are stuck. Oh man. It's very hard to do with one hand. I ended up on the other wheel. Ended up using this. Not pressing against the paint, pressing against the other caliper. Force it up out of there. Nothing but pure dirt. Oh, nothing but pure dirt keeping this stuck in. Oh, man, I'm gonna go get this out. Just got it out. It was these pieces that were stuck in there, so it like this it's just glued on. Like you don't need any of this. All this is the attached to the pad itself. So once this is out, rule of thumb, I learned my lesson on this yesterday also. Before taking off the caliper, because these are old, you can see the heat spots. Like all of my rotors were warped from the previous owner. Bro was beating on this car. Push in the, what is it called? The whatever. Push this in. Make sure do not cut that seal with any edge or something you're using. And go against the rotor, because since these are old rotors, they don't care. Push these in. All right, that's in. And then take this, it doesn't matter the orientation, you just stick it back in there to hold its place. Looks like this one's gonna give us issue too. It's never easy, is it? I'll press against my own rule, break my own rule of thumb. See? It's marked it a little bit, but whatever. Yeah, the hardware's stuck on this one too. There it is. So, always push both these in, and you're gonna see, well, you might not be able to see. Can I do this by hand? I'm not that strong. I wish. When you push, you're not gonna be able to see it really, Can you? All right, so as I pull this one in, you'll see that one coming back out because it's all a pressurized system. You push this one in, this one will come out. So that's why you put the pad here. Press back against it. Pull this one back out. And all that, it's gonna send all the pressure when you put a pad here instead of when you pull this in and this one coming all the way out. Put the pad here so it'll send all the pressure back to the brake reservoir. Because the old pads are much thinner than a new pad. So if you don't do this, you're gonna put this back together and then struggle to even get the pad in because these are basically gone. Not going to lie, this top bolt don't give me a run for my money. I had to get this. The other side was easy. I just banged it loose in my hand, but I had to get this, some leverage, and I put that all the way in there, and I was like laying down, pushing up. There's not much room for the top one, but now I got it enough where I could. Ooh, where is it? There it is. Oh, it's still. Oh, there it is. Whew. Yeah. And here's where we're lazy again. Gonna pop this out. Grab that bad boy. Snap that on there. All right, what I just did by letting it drop, never do that, because see you're putting pressure on here. A lot of people just let it like take it off and they just let it hang, but you got some space to twist it around. I just like leave it sitting somewhere back there so it's not tightening on that. Yeah, that's good. And now this just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh, I'm tripping. Boom. Whew. Right. Time for the new one, which is much lighter. I don't know the material. My pops was calling these cheap rotors, which they are. All right, slap that up there. Get you some brake cleaner and a rag. I don't have brake cleaner because this ships with a whole bunch of dust and stuff on it. So you just gotta wipe all the dust off. Quick little rundown. Boom. See if I can do this with one hand. One hand and some feet. Whoo! Something you don't have to do, but this little factory rubber thing that covers the hole. Flip it. I don't know what it does, but I assume it's for when your caliper's stuck. They'd use that spot to like hammer through whatever, but I want to look an OEM. Boom. Now it's just a reverse. Exact reverse. Take this, twist it back around. Ooh. It's like once the caliper's off, it's super easy. And I'm doing this one-handed. Don't forget the washer. Stand that up. That comes. Oh, also, Another thing I don't have. I'll probably start doing it if it ever negatively affects me. Loctite. The ones on the front wheels, man, I took those off, and from factory, the whole entire thing is covered in Loctite. It's very hard to align with one hand. Yo. Oh, and there it is. So once you got it even threaded a little bit, yeah, right. Now take this. Zoop, zoop. Oh. Right. That is not it. I will tighten those. I'll tighten those later. Never trust, especially a 90-degree ratchet, to keep it tight enough to keep everything together. Just enough to get it on. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the caliper. Very last thing before we just slap the wheel back on. Your brake pads. Make sure the one on the back is the one with this clip. It'll come with 2 of these, and then 2 of these without the clip. Without the clip, I mean, you can do it on the front too, I'm sure. But basically all this does is when the pad gets low enough, where's the bad ones? Mine were very close to there. The front ones actually started. But when the pads are low enough, that little clip will start like scraping against, it'll get low enough, scrape against the caliper and leave a score mark in it. And then like when basically you hear brakes, like very high ear pitch squeal, you know your brakes are shot. And I put them on the back. I don't put them on the front. Slide those in. Oh. Wrong spot. There it is. Get your, where's the other pin? Oh, both the pins right there. Get your hardware. Goes like this. No, it goes like this, because the pin slides on there. These corners sit on top of that. Yeah, I mean, take your pin, boom, move this and push it down. Huh. Oh, gotta back that up. That goes on top. Then squeeze it, starts coming through right there. Make sure you get your safety pins and focus up. The hole right there. Get your safety pins. Where is it? You can do the same thing I did in the beginning and just twist it around with the Phillips. But I can see it enough. Boom. Pins in. Where's the other one? Also, I gotta put the pin in first. Try to be more organized than me. I just got the pins and everything just laying everywhere. Don't lose anything. Push that through. Where's the hole? Oh, right on top for us. Boom. That's in. Brakes. Finito.